given what's been happening lately with the MOU and the aim of Durka, palace intriguing, and the inter-regime fighting. Hypothetically speaking, if Israel were to launch a surprise attack tomorrow to, and again, assuming that he's even alive, to reunite Mojtaba with the rest of his family, um, what effect do you think that would have on the current situation?
What effect would that have on the MOU?
No, on the regime's infighting and basically stability.
Oh, that's a very interesting question. Depends on what they hit. Um, um, what are like? Give me a scenario. Like, what are they hitting? Are they taking out the remaining officials, or are they?
So yeah, they made some threats just prior to the MOU about related to regime change and ending the Khamenei bloodline, which I think you could interpret as a direct threat against Mujtaba.
Mojtaba.
Um, yeah, and they obviously they know that the MOU's created intra-regime fighting and a lot of tensions and it's exposed the Paydari camp as basically a clear opponent of the Ghalibaf camp. I'm curious if this were to happen hypothetically, just what you think. Let's say Mujtaba and some top Mujtaba loyalists in the office of the supreme leadership were all simultaneously either targeted or wiped out. Um, I'm thinking maybe that this could give the Paydari people some ammunition and say, look, you were dealing with our enemy the whole time. They were tricking you. They were playing you. And a way to erode that legitimacy and sort of turn that Cold War into a hot war inside the regime.
Yeah, it will escalate. Like so, um, the negotiations and the ceasefire did cause a lot of internal division. Um, that was helpful. So you might think that I would say going back to war would unite them, but I think that the division has been um, is now very deep, and if we don't go back to kinetic, military operations soon, the Ghalibaf camp, because the Ghalibaf camp has so much of an upper hand right now that it is going to eventually be able to figure out how to silence the people who are standing against it. It has been very effective so far, even though we are seeing some divisions. It's not leading up to much to challenge Ghalibaf's authority right now. So it would be actually helpful right now to go back in right now, right? So just because I saying that the negotiations and the ceasefire cause a division, that doesn't mean that endless ceasefire and negotiations will continue increasing the division. Switching back and forth is actually the best way to continue doing that. And I think that you're right. Like right now, if you right when Ghalib, so stopping the war and making these people try to fill in the power vacuum, increase the division, and now the power vacuum is being filled with and Ghalibaf has the upper hand. So right when you see some stability, that's when you need to change strategies. So right now, if we go back to military operations, right as things are stabilizing, I think then you need to be on a roller coaster, right? As soon as so this might sound crazy, but war sometimes brings stability to the Islamic Republic. So right when the war is bringing stability, you go to ceasefire, and then if you stay in ceasefire, eventually the ceasefire will become the new stable condition. And as soon as you see that you're causing some, one person is having the upper hand, is causing some stability, then you need to switch again back to war. So I do think killing Mujtaba and making it clear that Mujtaba is dead. Don't touch the Paydari camp. They are the best one for us. They are actually the ones that cause the most division. I think killing Ghalibaf will basically make it very difficult for the regime to have anybody to talk to. It would be the end of. It could potentially killing Ghalibaf could potentially bring the ends of any forms of negotiations. I just don't think the Americans. I think the Americans will be really, really pissed if that happens right now, right? So I don't think that I do agree that this right now, if we start bombing again, it would be the most effective strategy against the Islamic Republic if we did it right now. But if the Americans really want to do, not mess with the midterms and oil prices and affordability and all of that, and if they have and worse, if they have the Venezuela model in plan for the Islamic Republic, then Israel would have to calculate which would be better: do this to weaken the Islamic Republic significantly while pissing off their main ally, or not do this and try to maintain their main ally as continue. Because remember, like, the Israelis are looking at the anti-Israeli sentiment increasing in United States, and they know that if they do this right now, everybody there's going to be so much ammunition. They're like, look, these people are not letting us have peace. Like, they brought us the main narrative is going to be like, they dragged us into a war, and now when we want to get out of it, they're not letting us. And it will be like, I think it will significantly increase the anti-Israeli sentiment on all sides in the United States. I'm not saying it will take over 100%. Obviously, many Americans will continue to be pro-Israeli, but I think it would be a catalyst towards being more anti-Israeli in the United States. So I think the Israelis are looking at the poll numbers and how the Americans are turning against Israel, and they are mindful of that as well. Does that answer? What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I agree. I appreciate the analysis. Thank you. Javicha.
Javisha.
All right. I don't see any more twos on this. I would throw a couple of other things out there. If it's only 2 weeks, that may be okay. Number one. Number two, I don't think it'll last 2 weeks. I think they're going to start firing. I think there was some stuff happening yesterday. We had some updates. I wasn't able to see what happened later because it was a holiday and I had to do other stuff. But I doubt that there's some stability there. There's another part of this. Trump very clearly says, if this fails, it's on Vance. If it works, I take the credit. Anybody think it's going to work? No. I think Vance is going to get hoisted by his own petard, and Rubio is going to be set up to be president, right? Because Trump is like, you know what? All right, go for it. Go for it. I'll give you 2 weeks. Get this done. You had your chance already in Pakistan. That didn't work out. We had to stop even thinking of flying you out for these bullshit meetings. But you want to give it another shot? Okay, give it another shot. It's a little closer. We can do that. Let's give you 2 weeks on your bullshit plan. See if it works. If this goes the way it's going, it may not be just a play about the midterms. It may be a play to make Rubio the next president. Because I don't believe who could have or Vance isn't even gonna run. He wants to retire or go back to being a senator and say, hey, look, we tried. I gave it my best shot, blah, blah, blah. And he lets the path open for Rubio, and he steps back. Like, this could be like, yeah, of course we're going to bomb again. This is why this is only 2 weeks. But there could be other political things moving on the chessboard. It's like he said it so clearly, and Rubio was so serious behind him that I was like, that's very interesting. It's incredibly interesting. I don't think it's going to last at all. And I do think there will be stability. On what you said, I remember what you said. Remember this morning when he was like, we're going to have the congressional meeting in the stairs in front of the door. We're going to sit in front of the door and have a little Congress meeting or Senate meeting right at the door. And, he start naming names of the people that, wait a minute, what do you mean? You agreed to this stuff? It was hilarious. I could feel your joy emanating. I was feeling it in my heart. Mm. It was fantastic.
So Sketch is referring to a member of parliament within the Islamic Republic being angry that the parliament is still closed, and Ghalibaf is not opening the parliament and claiming that there's a coup d'etat happening inside the Islamic Republic. That's what he's referring to. Yeah. Also, Sketch, there was Shadi was mentioning in the chat that let me see where she said that President Trump gave Vance 2 months, not 2 weeks. So I don't know which number.
I did misspeak on that. I apologize. Wait, let me get my happy monkey face on. I do apologize. I did misspeak on that, Shadi. It's correct. It was 2 months. Personally, I doubt. Well, I mean, if it was up to me, we'd be doing the boom boom. Like, what we'd be showing them just 5x5 plan. If it's up to me, right? I'm not gonna go, I hate the president. He's an idiot. Blah blah blah. But like, if you're asking me my opinion is we should be bombing them. That's my opinion. But, I do recognize there's other factors at play, not all of them political, but maybe some of them. And I am noticing what Armin is talking about, the destabilization inside is happening. It may be a good time to strike, but the destabilization is more open now. There's more open infight. Like, remember when they say, blockade the strait? We need to blockade the airport to stop this guy from going over there and trying to make deals. Remember that? That was so funny. That was hilarious.
So let me give you another update. I see some other people put twos in the chat, but Sketch, there's going to be, I'll show another video on Ali's segment, like after this, when I go live with Ali. There's another video that you guys are going to enjoy within the Islamic Republic, that they're reading the first line within the MOU on state TV. And apparently the first line within the MOU says that the MOU has been violated if each side threatens the other one, right? And they're like, President Trump just threatened, like he came out and said you're not gonna leave you're not gonna even be able to get back to your fucking country. There's not gonna be any fucking country left for you. I'm gonna close the Strait of Hormuz. Like, I'm gonna, we're gonna control it. We're gonna get 20% toll or whatever. So they're reading it, and they're like, okay, then the MOU has been violated. Ghalibaf, come home. Like, why are you still negotiating? President Trump just violated the MOU, right? So they're like, so there's that. And then I also have another clip that says from within Iran that I'll show, and somebody is going to use a Quran. Like, you'll see, so I'll get to that. But there's a lot of videos that I'm sitting on that shows the internal drama within the Islamic Republic. I'll cover more of them in the next stream.
All right. Next to reply on this topic, make sure I got the right one here. 1 second, please. Wyatt.
Sketch, one of the main jobs of a vice president is to take the heat off the president. Spiro Agnew was very famous for taking all the heat off of Nixon. And anybody who was bitching at Nixon, he'd take the blame for it, so they wouldn't go after the president. Like I said, that's what Vance is doing too. That's all.
That is indeed very possible. The only thing well, Trump basically said what you said. Like, if this goes wrong, I'm blaming him. If it goes right, I'm taking the credit. So, like, Trump agrees with you. That's apparently part of his job. And next up is Ramins.
Yo. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right. I just had one perspective of the Vance thingy. Like, this guy, he has been in politics for 3 years, and he's not young. So he has worked most of his career as a venture capitalist at Mithril Capital, and his mentor, Peter Thiel, is also Tucker Carlson's best friend. So I just believe Trump is just making sure Marco Rubio will be the next president, and that's my 2 cents in that.
Thank you very much. Next up, we have Noah.
Yes, I think when Trump said that, he was repeating what a reporter had said, because I remember watching the video and it was a reporter that suggested that, and then Trump sort of jokingly agreed with that he was going to blame JD if it failed. But yeah, you were right. It was 2 months.
Also, he has used this before. He has said this exact same thing before. Like, if it works, I'll take the credit. If it doesn't, I'll blame. Maybe it was Vance the last time he said it, but he has used those words before. So the reporter might be quoting him on a different occasion, and he might be quoting himself back to, like, it might be like a circular thing. like an inside joke, like a meme they got. But it doesn't stop it from being true. It doesn't stop it from being a possibility. All right, with that, I think we have the twos, and we should probably move on to super chats, right?
Yes. So we got 3 super chats. Fleshy Interloper saying no super chats? Question mark. Well, now we do. Thank you, Fleshy. And Leo with a super chat saying so grateful for this community and send my heart and love for my love and my hugs. Thank you, Leo. That's very sweet. And I also love your profile pic with the little puppy and the lion and sun flag. It's beautiful. It always makes me smile every time I see that. And then Fleshy Interloper with another super chat saying the straight shipping dropped due to hiked insurance rates. New graph in school. Okay, so guys, this actually goes back to what Sketch keeps telling us. So apparently, the Strait of Hormuz, Sketchy always keeps an eye on the tanker movement, and he posts it on the first page of our community. So keep an eye on that if you want to be updated on that. So yeah, so apparently the shipping numbers have dropped because insurance numbers just went up. So thank you, Fleshy, for keeping an eye on that. My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.